Thank you to George and to Amanda for providing us with her thoughts. The most important thing that I took from that interview is that gaming is a community thing, and bringing the stories of gamers from that community to life and giving the viewers a reason to care is crucial to a successful esports production. Something to keep in mind. In this next segment, we're going to go to Milan to talk to Infront Italy's Head of Digital Projects, Andrea Mariani, about e-Serie A, the Italian league-affiliated tournament based on the FIFA video game. We're going to discuss the origins of the Infront Serie A partnership, how coverage of the events and matches are produced, and then focus on the challenges faced. Before we do that though, let's see the tournament in action.
Si comincia, siamo nella fase cruciale, niente draft, niente exhibition match, ma finalmente si fa sul serio.
Questo è un gol da campione assoluto. Azione da vedere e rivedere.
Prima di Bocco per Chiesa!
Ma cosa ha fatto? Ronaldo che si gira, Ronaldo! Sono tra i più forti nel panorama sportivo. La tensione a 1000. Tutto è pronto per una nuova sfida.
Ci vediamo sempre sullo stesso canale, sempre lo spettacolo della e-Serie. Team.
Thank you for joining us, Andrea. To kick things off, how did the relationship with Serie A come about? How was this project born?
Infront Lega Serie A has a long and trusted partnership that started many years ago with the support of Infront to sell the media rights to the international market, and also with the production of original content for them. So the e-Serie A is the natural step forward of this relationship. e-Serie A has been launched in 2020 in purpose to expand the Serie A brand in a new market, the video game industries. And I think this still is something very ambitious.
You say it's ambitious, but what exactly are you and Serie A trying to achieve with this, and why?
I think the main ambition is to conquer a new market with an audience that is not an audience made by football fans only, but it's a very diversified target with a youngest target that Lega has to reach. And I'm very proud to say that the first and the second season of the e-Serie A has been well received by the esports community, the stakeholders, the brand and the partners. That's why for this season it's our focus was to elevate the standards, to reach a higher quality in order to reach the top level for this kind of industry. Why we're doing that? Because placing as golden standard is part of the Lega Serie A and Infront mentality. And for doing that, Infront invests its entire knowledge and experience in live sports production, but also with the partnership of two great partners as EA Sports, Electronic Arts, and Sony PlayStation, which represents the ball, the virtual ball, and the virtual pitch, the virtual field where the e-Serie A takes place.
Thank you. That's a bit of the background. Let's talk about the output itself, shall we? Tell us about the competition and how you cover it.
e-Serie A is one of the competition of the Lega Serie A. 15 teams are involved, and these teams are directly connected with the real teams of the Serie A. That means that we have teams like Inter Milan, Bologna, Fiorentina, Sassuolo, AC Milan. The tournament is composed by 10 match days, starting from the group stage to the finals. And Infront produce 10 live shows, one per each match day, and the length was like 5 hours each. Those shows were streamed on Twitch, which is the main platform, the perfect platform for this kind of content. Alongside this main production, Infront produce a lot of content for the other channels and the other platforms, and also create media assets for the partners, for the brand, for the clubs, in order to enlarge the voice of the e-Serie A all around the community. In particular, we produce a live show on Twitch twice a week, where we comment and we react the results of the tournament, and in order to have a wider content plan on Twitch and get connected with the audience every week.
Thank you. What challenges do you face when producing coverage of e-Serie A?
I think there are a lot of challenges when you land in a new environment with a new grammar and a new language. I think the most critical part at the beginning was how produce content without any legacy, without any archive footage. We started producing content from zero, so we built up a brand identity, a brand visibility from a white page, and it was very, very exciting.
One of the key things to get right with a new esports project, of course, is establishing credibility with the audience and being authentic. How did you tackle that?
You know, e-Serie A was the new kid from the block, so we try to respect and to follow the standards and the grammar and the habits of this audience, of this environment, and respecting the platform's language that allowed us to give the respect that we were looking for.
Thank you. FIFA is a huge property, of course, and there are lots of tournaments played and streamed every year. How does e-Serie A and your output in particular differ from other FIFA leagues, particularly those around Europe?
Well, I think the big difference between the other leagues is how e-Serie A commit the concept of from zero to hero. Each team is composed by 1 or 2 pro players, but they also have to include in their roster an amateur player taken from the fan base. So Infront organized a tournament, an online tournament. The online qualifiers started in December, where everybody could play and could participate. So at the end, the top 30 players will participate to the draft show, where each team is able to pick one of them to include in their roster. This is something that we made in order to allow the engagement of the fan base, since we have to consider that the fan base and the audience of the game industry are also the gamers that use console and the title games for playing video games.
Finally, from me, what else can we expect from e-Serie A? What else is coming down the line?
Of course, the season is ended a few weeks ago, so now we are digesting the numbers and the stats and the comments. We are having a round of debriefs with the partners and the stakeholders. But what I want to say is that for the next year, what we want is to create an in-person live events and engaging the people in order to give them back what we trusted us with.